Hey friends! With the average Hollywood budget being around $65 million, filmmaking can be a costly endeavour. That isn't always the case though. Here are 10 films that bucked the trend and were made for under $1 million.
Excuse me, somebody's in here.
Hello?
He's waited for this night. He's waited for me.
Number 10. Clerks. $27,000. The 1994 comedy film, written, directed, and produced by Kevin Smith, follows a day in the life of store clerks Dante and Randall. The film is notable for the first appearance of characters Jay and Silent Bob and launched the career of Kevin Smith. Its budget was $27,000 and was partly funded by Smith selling a large part of his comic book collection, with some of the rest coming from an insurance settlement after Smith's car was lost in a flood. Don't worry though, the film made $3.1 million, 114 times what it cost to make, and Smith was able to buy back most of the collection. Number 9. El Mariachi, $7,000. After being mistaken for a killer who carries his guns in a guitar case, El Mariachi must survive murderous drug lord's henchmen in this 1992 action thriller. Director Robert Rodriguez made the film for $7,000, partly because he did everything but act. He produced, wrote, did the special effects, and operated the camera, going to such lengths to keep the costs down. When a moving shot was called for, Rodriguez mounted his camera on an old broken hospital wheelchair. It worked though. El Mariachi took $2.4 million worldwide, 342 times what it cost to film. Number 8. Super Size Me, $65,000. The famous 2004 documentary asked the question, what would happen to a person's health if they solely lived on McDonald's for 1 month? Morgan Spurlock answered that question for us, as well as directing, writing, and producing the film on a budget of $65,000. The impact on Spurlock's health was quite large, but not as large as the impact on his bank balance. Super Size Me grossed $20 million, a 30,000% increase on the budget. Number 7. Swingers, $200,000. A guy trying to make it in LA is the premise of this 1996 film, which helped launch the careers of Jon Favreau, Vince Vaughn, and Ron Livingston. Independently funded on a budget of $200,000, the film won numerous awards on its launch. Jon Favreau, the writer, wrote the screenplay in a period of 2 weeks, just to test out a new computer. It was a commercial success too. The film took $4.5 million worldwide, a 2,000% increase on what it cost to make. Number 6. Napoleon Dynamite, $400,000. 2004 comedy film Napoleon Dynamite is next on the list, a nerdy high schooler dealing with several impossible situations. Made with a budget of $400,000, the film has since developed a cult following and was voted number 14 on Bravo's 100 Funniest Movies. Its famous dance scene was completely improvised and had to be done quickly because the production was running out of money. Well, money wasn't a problem once it was released, as it went on to gross $46.1 million, 115 times what it cost to make. Number 5. Rocky, $960,000. Written by then unknown Sylvester Stallone in 1976, few knew that it would launch his career. At the time, Stallone was flat broke and had $106 to his name, but he refused to sell the rights unless he could star in the film. Well, the gamble worked and the rest is history. Rocky was made for $960,000, with the filmmakers being creative with shooting, using real people as extras, often without their knowledge, and was shot in 28 days. The film made $116.2 million worldwide, 122 times larger than the budget itself. Number 4. Halloween, $325,000. The heartwarming story of a murderer escaping his institution to kill again, the 1978 horror film was filmed on a shoestring budget. Starring Jamie Lee Curtis, who was paid $8,000 for her role, the film often features in Scariest Films of All Time lists. So tight were budget constrictions, the film's dark lighting wasn't a design choice, there just wasn't enough money for more lights. And the famous Mike Myers mask was bought for $1.98 from a costume shop. Anyway, the film then went on to make $70 million, 215 times what it cost to make. Number 3. Mad Max, $300,000. 1979's Mad Max shows a vision of dystopian Australia in the near future, where a policeman battles with a gang of brutal outlaws. The director George Miller raised the budget for the film from his day job as an ER doctor, and young unknown actors were hired while still in drama school, including a little-known actor named Mel Gibson. So, to save some money, a lot of the stunt driving was done illegally, and quickly before the police found out, and extras were paid in a different sort of currency. Beer. The film ended up grossing at $8.4 million, 28 times larger than the budget. Number 2. Paranormal Activity, $15,000. A tale as old as time. A young couple move into a new home only to be terrorized by a demonic presence that appears at night. 2009's Paranormal Activity was made with a $15,000 budget. Filmed in the director's house and buying props in the local Costco, the film was a terrifying success. It made $193 million worldwide and became the second most profitable film ever made after the film ranked number 1 on our list. Number 1. The Blair Witch Project, $60,000. Spooky thriller 1999's Blair Witch Project, the shakily filmed story of 3 film students who vanished after travelling to make a film about a local urban legend. This film frightened cinema-goers in their millions. Some people actually thought this film was true, paying homage to how well it was filmed, all on a budget of $60,000. To save money, the cameras that the actors used were returned to the electronics store so the money could be used on other parts of the film. It was a huge commercial success, grossing $248 million. That means that for every $1 spent on the film, $10,931 was made. That concludes our list. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe.
Oh, grace.